The Seattle Mariners are one of the best home run hitting teams in the majors and use the long ball to deliver a tough loss to our Sox on Monday. Looking to even up the series last night, the Sox proved that they too can play that game. He looks up, you can put it on the board, yes! And it's a 5-1 Sox lead. A power surge in the Sox offense was a sight for sore eyes, and to win this series before heading back home, they'll have to dethrone a king. We are coming to you from Safeco Field in gorgeous Seattle, Washington, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Brett Laurie, Jose Abreu and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, and Scott Service's Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match, as you just saw in the tease right there. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning to win opener 4-3. Chris Sale was just outstanding. 8 scoreless innings, just 1 hit. Then last night, Quintana was really good, picking up his 8th victory. And we won that ball game 6-1. But in this series so far, Steve, the long ball has been the soup du jour, so to speak.
Well, we knew that Seattle could hit the ball out of the ballpark because they've got a whole lot of people in the lineup that do that. What we didn't know was the Sox could hit the ball out of the ballpark as regularly as they have in this series. Scored 9 runs so far, 5 via the home run. Seattle, 5 runs so far. They've hit a couple of home runs. And so when you take a look at the long ball, this is a ballpark used to be tough to hit home runs, not so anymore, with the Sox hitting .304. Todd Frazier's had quite a series. He's hit a couple of home runs, and this one going over the center field wall. Last 16 games, 6 home runs, 12 driven in, 27 for the year. And with the power returning to Todd Frazier, hopefully Jose Abreu can do just that also. And then the 2 guys in the middle will get it done. Melky Cabrera today hitting in the 2 spot.
Well, helping us out on that bump today will be a man who has been pitching well.
You take a look at the average, and you take a look at the wins and losses, and you look at the total effort of Gonzalez. They don't seem hand in hand. He's been absolutely brilliant over his last 3 starts. He's 1-2 ERA, 2.25. Doesn't have a lot to show for it, but with opponents hitting under 200, Miguel has been getting the job done. He's going to have to, because for the first time in 7 weeks, Felix Hernandez goes to the mound, and his career against our ball club in this ballpark, pretty good. 3-1 with a 3.02 ERA. He's a master of the changeup. His fastball, the big one, is gone these days, but he's got just outstanding stuff. Make no mistake about it. He is their number 1. If he's back, they should be in good shape.
Well, the story is, the question is, will the long ball still prevail for our guys? So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
WCSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to beautiful Seattle and Safeco Field with the roof open once again. It's been 3 absolutely gorgeous days. This an afternoon finale to finish off a series. We will see Seattle back in Chicago in August. But for the time being, they've got their ace back on the mound, and that's Felix Hernandez, as a few Sox fans are in attendance here today. So through the 27th, that's the last game that Felix started. His ball club was 28-19. Since, just the opposite, 19-28. The ERA was much better overall. Starters ERA substantially better, as was just about every other statistic, especially bullpen ERA. And one of the reasons is you lose your number one and everybody has to slot down. That makes it much more important for the guys who are still there to get the job done. But without the number one, there's a psychological difference that no team can quantify. The Mariners know that without Felix, they're going to be in big trouble. They've got him back. He's entirely healthy from that calf injury, and he's going to take the mound as the Mariners take the field. Let's take a look at how Robin's going to line him up this afternoon. It's a different lineup. Adam Eaton leading it off with Melky Cabrera in the 2 spot. Tim Anderson getting the day off. Jose Abreu is hitting third, playing first. Justin Morneau, the DH. Todd Frazier playing third base. J.B. Shuck in center field. Brett Lawrie, who's done a great job against Felix Hernandez. He's playing second base, hitting 7th. Then it's Deanna Navarro and Tyler Saladino. The defense and how they'll line up behind Felix Hernandez. Aoki just back from the minor leagues in left. Then it's Martin and Smith in center and right. Seager, O'Malley, Cano, and Lynn in the infield. Mike Zunino also recently recalled from the minor leagues behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Felix Hernandez. It's 4-4 this year. The ERA of fine, 2.86. You look at the rest of the numbers, they're pretty good. Opponents hitting just 217. He's only allowed 6 home runs. He's got a great straight change. It looks like a splitter, but it's not. It's actually a circle change. He does have a curve and a slider to go with it. Fastball these days, not overwhelming, anywhere from 90 to 93. But he's got pinpoint control. He's got supreme confidence. Year after year, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And anytime you have a leg injury, it's going to affect your motion. They didn't want that to happen, so they laid him off. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Andy Fletcher behind the plate. Mark Ripperger is at first. The crew chief Joe West at second, and Kerwin Danley is at third. So Adam Eaton stepping in. Felix Hernandez ready to go, as are we. And it's time to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As Adam Eaton hitting at 273, 1 for 9 in this series, and the first pitch of the ball game. Taken for a strike. 30-year-old right-hander out of Valencia, Venezuela. 6'3", 225, but you stand beside him, he looks a lot bigger than that. That's out of play. And here at Safeco, 331 down the left field line, 326 down the right field line, 380 in right center, 378 in left center. That's low. 401 dead away center.
2009, Felix was 19-5. Last year, 18-9. Year before, 15-6. His ERA, a league leading 2.14 in 2014. What a pitcher he's been.
We get a break right there.
Felix certainly wanted that one, thought it was good enough. Andy Fletcher didn't.
So the Cy Young Award winner in 2010 comes with that breaking ball down and in.
he has so many late breaking pitches. When I had a chance to speak with him before the first game of the series, he was wearing 2 gigantic diamond earring studs, which he's not allowed to pitch with because they're fairly distracting.
Melky, 5 for 21 lifetime against Felix. Melky 3 for 7 with a home run in this series.
Sox are going to run on Aoki in left field every chance they get, and his routes are not all that good. Conversely, Martine's got a very good arm, as does Seth Smith in right field.
Sox come in hitting at .250 as a team with a 4.02 ERA. Be fair. It will. Just misses that thing. So here goes Melky, and here's the throw. And he's in there with a double. And fans, now you can vote for your pick to click. Before each game, visit whitesox.com/pick to click and decide who you think will be the next White Sox position player of the game, the best. So Melky with his 19th two-bagger. And here's Abreu. Looks at 88 for a strike. Jose has faced Felix 7 times, has 1 hit.
Felix has been named to 6 All-Star teams. Twice he didn't pitch. That was in 11 and 12. And he's been just a wonderful pitcher for a long time.
Well, if you would have told the Mariners we're going to lose him for almost 2 months, what we got to do is just try to hang out if we can. As there's a 2-hopper. Seager. Hang out and try to stay at 500 a little better. We might be all right, and that's exactly what they've done. They're 47-47.
Well, take a look at what he's done as a member of the Mariners. 147 and 105. 42 over 500 for a team that has been good at times, not too good at times. Opponents hitting .238. Won a Cy Young Award. Very durable. Lots of strikeouts. Almost 2,200. We haven't seen that good straight change yet. He's thrown some very good sliders.
Morneau's had a tough time against here. 5 for 37. Pistols out at 135. Off the plate.
Get a pretty good catcher behind the plate in Mike Zunino, former #1 draft pick of the Seattle Mariners. Zunino handles pitchers very well. Got a strong arm, quick delivery, good footwork. He was here before, had some problems offensively. They sent him down this year. They said there's things we want you to work on. They have no doubt he's going to be their #1 catcher. And he's got a lot of talent. Has yet to put it together. Very big strike zone, as many young hitters have.
Full count. That is ball 4.
Felix not particularly happy, and he's talking to Andy Fletcher about that low strike. He thought he had a couple of them. He's probably not going to get the low strike today. You just have to adjust to it if you're on the mound. He liked this one. Well caught, well framed by Zunino. It had part of the zone, and Felix can't believe it. Second pitch in the inning that he thought he had a strike.
And Canoa's coming in to tell him, hey, cut it out.
And because, number one, he's their ace. Andy Fletcher's not going to take a great deal of complaining from the starting pitcher. I don't care how long he's been around. And Scott Service, a former catcher, knows that you can only go so far.
That ball hit high and deep. Way back, he looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. 3-run bomb. Well, Frazier is 28th. He now has 64 RBIs in this 3-0 Sox lead.
Well, after an argument between a pitcher and an umpire, hitters go up there looking for something in the zone on the first pitch, and he got one. Our Ford home run replay. For the third time in as many games, Todd Frazier has gone deep. This one a no-doubter. Felix, a very unhappy man.
And that'll do it. But a 3-run home run, and after a half inning of play, it's our guys 3 and their guys coming to bat.
His Mariners for the game this afternoon. Aoki, Smith, and Cano at the top with Cruz, Seager, and Lynn, who against Gonzalez has been a killer. Then it's Martin, Zunino, and O'Malley rounding it out. The defense, and now Robin is going to line them up behind Miguel Gonzalez. Cabrera, Chuck, and Eaton in the outfield with Frazier, Saladino, Laurie, and Abreu in the infield. Deanna Navarro behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Miguel Gonzalez. He's thrown very well the last 3 times out, just 1 and 2 to show for it, and he's got a 3-run lead early.
Well, Chris Sale had a 1-run lead going to the bottom of the first inning. And that was the first time one of our pitchers on the road had gone to the bottom of the first with a lead since June 23rd at Boston. And now we have a 3-run for Miguel. Aoki. .287 lifetime hitter.
So after the inning, Felix comes off, and Andy Fletcher actually took a couple of steps toward that side of the field. Scott Service is telling him, hey, look the other way. You don't need to walk off toward the first base side to promote any type of confrontation. Felix was unhappy. Fletcher was unhappy. And Service probably the most unhappy.
Well, I think Felix is probably more unhappy.
With 3 Ernies early? Yeah.
First time Frazier had faced Felix. Tied, 28 homers, 64 knocked in. Well, the scorekeeper out on the scoreboard's not happy either. One out. So here's Seth Smith. I mentioned the first game, this is not a young ball club. You got ages 34, 33, 33, 36, 28, 33. Mike Zunino at 25 is by far the youngest. And that ball hitting the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. There'll be a double. This is 9th two-bagger.
Smith can just flat out hit. Always has been able to. He's become a platoon player, but he will crush right-handed pitching. Gets a good at-bat most every at-bat, and this time turns it into a 2-base hit. We saw him as a pinch hitter last night, and Nate Jones struck him out on an exploding slider down and in, that coming to lead off the 9th inning before Carson Fulmer came on for the last 2 outs.
So here is Cano. Robinson at 305, 22 homers and 60 driven in. Homered last night for the Mariners' only run. Softly into center field. 2 out. And here comes Nelson Cruz. Nelson 3 for 7 in the series. And 4 for 11 lifetime with a home run off Gonzalez.
First 3 at bats last night, 3 singles coming against Quintana. But he kept him in the ballpark.
Cruz. As powerful as anyone. Jack McLary had a shot of the only ball ever hit out of this ballpark all the way out the other day, as Felix Hernandez was getting on him about how far he could hit it. So he just took it all the way out here. Nobody's ever done that. Just off the plate. 3-0 Sox if you're just tuning in. 3-run homer by Todd Frazier. That ball hit high and deep into center field. But we got a man there right at the edge of the track. And that'll retire the side. After one, it is 3-0 Good Guys.
And it's active pitchers with over 2,000 strikeouts. CC Sabathia leading the list. Bartolo Colon, who's having a tough time in Chicago against the Cubs today. Then it's Felix Hernandez, Jake Peavy, John Lackey, Justin Verlander, and Cole Hamels rounding it out.
Brett Lawrie, Leonardo Navarro, and Tyler Saladino. That yanks that one foul. He's 8 for 22 lifetime against Felix. Brett comes in hitting on the season at .252, 12 homers and 36 knocked in. Ball hit into right field. 1 out.
The ball is really carrying here this afternoon. It's a lot livelier these days with the fences moved in over the last couple of years, but during the daytime, a lot livelier than at night.
Down ball left side off the bat of Downer.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
So here's Tyler. Today, his birthday. There's a strike. Nicely. That'll be a base hit for Tyler.
O'Malley with a good effort. He tried with the backhand. That ball flipped up in the air. Ketel Marte, who is their #1 shortstop, has been sick the entire series, and so O'Malley getting a whole lot of play. That time he tried to corral it, but the inning stays alive.
So here is Adam struck out. Curveball down and in. There's a shot base hit. Do against Felix, especially first time in almost 2 months he's been out there. Just turn this lineup over.
That was a changeup. It was right down the middle. Adam stayed right with it, took it right back up the middle, and kept the inning alive.
Here's Cabrera. He had a little Kansas City special double in the first inning. Softly hit right down inside the left field line. And there's a base hit. So here he comes. He's going to score. So 4-0 Sox lead. Big crowd on him today, expecting over 35,000 for the return of the King.
It's RBI number 43 as Hernandez wants a fastball, and he wanted it up and in. He got it in. Didn't get it up quite as high as he would like, and Melky, for the second time in as many innings, he's got a base hit, and this time turns into a run batted in.
Here's Abreu. Got it out to Seager at third base. Four, 5-0 for us if you're just joining us. 0-1-0 for them. But we're just in the top of the second inning. Abreu now 1 for 7 lifetime off Felix.
Mark Ripperger said he did indeed swing. We'll take a look from the side and see what Ripperger saw. Said it was too far. Could have gone either way and went Felix's way.
Just got a piece of it. Just ate him up right there. It's a get off me swing.
There's really an example of why Jose is struggling somewhat, because he'll swing at a ball 5-6 inches inside, then swing at one low and away well out of the zone.
Yeah, his hitting zone right now is the biggest we've ever seen. I should say his swing zone, because some of these We said it last night. He has swung at more bad pitches, more pitches out of the strike zone than anybody by far in all of Major League Baseball this year. Coming into yesterday, 330 pitches out of the zone he swung at. Outfield straight up bunch just a bit. They're bunching most of our guys. There he goes. So now, single gets 2. Ducks on the pond, 2 out, 2-2 the count. For Melky, that is his first stolen base of the season. Oh, he hit. Felix picks it up barehanded, goes to first, and gets him. But we do pick up point on the base hit by Cabrera, and it is 4-0 Sox.
CSNChicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
4-0 good guys. Felix making his first start in a long time. They put him on the DL June 1st, retroactive to May 28th. Here's Seager. 283, 18 homers, 63 driven in. 2 for 8 lifetime off Gonzalez.
With 7 guys with 10 home runs or more, this is a team that depends on hitting the ball out of the park because they don't have much speed. They swiped just 26 bases all year. They've been caught 22 times. Leonys Martin is the one guy in double figures. And the other guy who's close is Marte, and he's not playing.
There's the strike. It's going to boil down for the Mariners. They're going to hit with their pitching. They had a couple of left-handers for them in the first 2 games. Blanc started game 1. Miley pitched last night. Both of them look good. So Felix, he's going to get back into his form. That's 3. Now they got to come up with the 4th and 5th guys to get the job done. If they do, they'll be in the hunt in September.
Well, they're 2 and 3 Iwakuma and Walker. Taijuan Walker's got a foot problem. Iwakuma is back, and he normally is a pretty good pitcher.
He's very good, as is Taijuan.
Yeah, Taijuan Walker is a good one, and so starting rotation is interesting. They have a better staff ERA than the Sox by a couple of points.
Don't want to do that. Walk the leadoff man. And here's Adam Lind. Big 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat us 4-3.
I talked with Adam, and he's not entirely happy with the way this season has gone. Quite obviously happy with the 14 home runs. But he's accepted the fact that he's going to be a part-time player. He's been a platoon player for a while now, and you just have to get used to it and try to keep your stroke.
Muncie, Indiana. Last year, 20 homers, 87 knocked in with Milwaukee. $35 home runs in 2009 with Toronto.
Well, he loves it here in the Pacific Northwest. He was a very good hitter for a long time with the Blue Jays, and he was an everyday player. And then a couple of years back, they just decided that his production against left-handers wasn't what they would like, making him into a full-time platoon player.
Into left field, back at the edge of the track. And tomorrow night, our Sox return to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field to open up a weekend series with Miguel Cabrera's Detroit Tigers. So join Jason and Stoney for the first pitch at 7 p.m. on CSN Chicago. Leonys Martin, 0 for 4 in the series. Now make it 1 for 5, and it's a 4-2 ball game. You just don't want to walk the leadoff hitter anytime, but especially when you got yourself a nice little lead.
Homer number 12 for Martin. He's now driven in 28. I told you how lively this ballpark is. The ball club is lively. The ballpark is lively. And a Ford home run replay. It's fastball. It's up out over the plate. And Martin rides it out.
Here's Mike Zunino. As I mentioned, he's the youngest guy in the lineup. Just 25 years old. 2 years ago, hit 22 homers and drove in 60.
He's got some big power, so much so that he was the first round pick, the 3rd pick overall in 2012. He's exceptional defensively. Seattle hoping that his offense will catch up to it. Those 2 home runs coming in one game.
That ball hit hard. And caught. 2 down. Good jump right there by Shuck. Sean O'Malley, the switch hitting shortstop. 0 for 5 in the series, but he's hit a couple balls hard. Foul ball.
O'Malley's been a little better hitter from the left side than he has from the right. He's played in 41 games, largely as a defensive specialist. He has just 84 at bats coming in.
Mentioned it last night with the way pitching is today around the major leagues, especially in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Home runs have never been more of a premium. Just don't see sustained, continuous offense off the pitching today. They have 135 home runs. We have 94. 41 home runs more than we do. He gone. But the 2-run homer by Leonys Martin is a 4-2 Sox lead.
T-Mobile. And it is Albert Pujols who's been on a tear. Last 3 games, 5 for 9 with 4 home runs and 11 driven in. 579 home runs for Albert, who's been quite a player for a long, long time.
And he's got a lot left in the tank. Well, they wanted to count to Morneau, who walked and scored back in the first inning.
There was a big walk with 2 outs because Morneau has never hit him very well. Todd Frazier has certainly enjoyed the Pacific Northwest. And that's because he's homered in each and every game. This one against Wade LeBlanc, going over the center field wall. Then he really likes the way this ballpark plays, because he took Benoit out of the ballpark in left center. And this afternoon, a 3-1 bomb against an infuriated Felix Hernandez.
Fouls that pitch back. Well, I mentioned it in Anaheim. I just don't know if Todd realizes how good he can be. He knows he's pretty good. But if he ever realizes that Harry ever tells him just how good he can be, you're going to really see something. There's a shot right to Seager. He's got the kind of offensive talent and strength where he can be in that 40 to 50 range every year. As here's Shuck. Grounded out to second. Fastball up and in for a strike. Felix. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the third. It's a 4-2 White Sox lead.
You can purchase a specially priced game ticket, receive a voucher for a White Sox Santa hat. Also stay for the post-game fireworks set to Christmas music. To purchase this ticket package, visit whitesox.com/Xmas.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the third. Sox lead at 4-2. Aoki, Smith, and Cano. Drops a hook on him. Aoki fouled off a couple pitches in his first at bat and then hit a line drive right to Brett Laurie at second.
I've seen Aoki with a number of different teams. He doesn't have a whole lot of power, but he is a very pesky hitter. Put the bat on the ball.
Into center field. One out. Seth Smith. He doubled in the gap. Right center field. Every time we've seen him, he has looked good with that bat.
came over.
Pitch strike.
He came over from San Diego in exchange for Brandon Maurer. That was in December of 2014. He's a lifetime .263 hitter, so he swung the bat well over the course of his career, mostly playing against the right-handers.
He came in to the big leagues first year, cup of coffee, 2007 with Colorado. In 2008, played 67 games. But the hype on him was sky high. They were expecting this guy to hit 30 or 40 home runs every year. There's a curveball strike. Tries to buzz him inside. Close pitch. Could have gone either way.
Smith, a former football player at the University of Mississippi. He played back up to Eli Manning, so you could probably stay very healthy that way. I'm not sure how much you got a chance to play.
Payoff pitch. He gone. Another hook.
Good curveball. Expecting anything else but that. The emergency hack. And no contact.
So here's Cano. Robinson went out to center field.
Cano's numbers versus our Sox, pretty much similar to his numbers against just about everybody. 16 home runs, 43 driven in 77 games. Has not been a prolific run producer, but a very, very good player. Yankees made a decision to let him go elsewhere, signed for $240 million here in Seattle.
Two balls, two strikes, two out. It's just a gorgeous day in a gorgeous city.
What Cano hasn't done in this series, which is something he was doing a lot of this year, and that is hammering the ball to left center field. Most every time in this series, he's hit the ball straightaway center or most likely tried to pull it.
Todd a little upset with himself right there.
And that's when Robbie Cano is really good, when he takes that ball to left field.
Fun thing about it is you don't make $240 million in the singles of left field.
Now, if you're going to be one of the table setters, you got to get on, and he can do that.
$240 million, you better be more than a table setter. As here is Cruz. Cruz went out deep to center field. And make no mistake about it, this guy can just muscle it out of here anywhere. Soft to Hopper. And that'll retire the side. We go to the fourth. We lead it by 2.
On the Baltimore Orioles at 7:10. All fans invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy is better for everybody. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Laurie, Navarro, and Saladino to face Felix Hernandez. Ball hit sharply. O'Malley. Coming Sunday, one of the greatest players of all time going into Cooperstown. You see with Seattle. Hit 56 home runs a couple of times. Just absolutely a marvelous, marvelous player.
10 Gold Gloves, the All-Star selections at 10, Silver Slugger at 7, the MVP in 1997. There wasn't anything he couldn't do, and he dominated his time period in his game, and he was voted in by the highest percentage, I believe, ever. And that's pretty impressive when the folks who are voting you in believe that you deserve more votes than anybody has ever gotten in the history of this game.
Griffey, just a wonderful athlete. Got a beautiful golf swing. Hits it a long way, as you would imagine. That's into short center field. Get out. Nope. Well, he kept that backside up so well, just about as well as anybody you'll ever see. That left shoulder of his. Four days. Saladino hit one hard off the glove. That's into right field for a base hit.
One of the things you don't want to do a lot of is run on Seth Smith in right field. He got to that ball quickly and got it back in a hurry.
So Gianna Francesca Casson. Her pick to click. Tyler Saladino 2 for 2 with a run scored. Gianna, who turned 13 years old yesterday. As here is Adam Eaton 1 for 2.
All the problems for Felix Hernandez in this game today have come with 2 outs. Three and 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. With 2 outs, a 3-run homer in the first. With 2 outs, nobody on, 3 hits and a run in the second. And a base hit with 2 outs and nobody on here. So Felix, after 7 weeks on the shelf, having a hard time nailing it down.
Talked to Felix after the first game and said he felt great. That scared Seager. Ball hit sharply right at him. Meanwhile, we still lead at 4-2.
Network.
And Ken Griffey Jr., we showed you a couple of his offensive swings. Now, one of the greatest center fielders to ever live. Of course, his idol. And they wore the same number. Willie Mays. He could do it all. And gracefully. One of the prettiest players to ever play the game. So here's Seager.
His father was a terrific player, but as so often happens, the son, stronger, faster, better defensively. And although Senior was a terrific player, his son was a great, great player. And they got somebody out on the field, so we'll take a break.
Yeah, he's going to wish 4 or 5 minutes from now that he hadn't done that.
Oh, terrific tackle. The guy who got him looked like a middle linebacker.
You got to be crazy to do that with everything that's going on today.
Fans are giving the security guards a welcome standing ovation. And in a minute or so, we will get on with the game.
Said get him off a little quicker so our guy just doesn't have to stand out there. He ought to be throwing a little bit, soft tossing.
Well, with the pitcher not throwing at all and Miguel is just standing there. If you're Seager, you're probably up there looking first ball fastball. Trying to hit it out of the ballpark, especially with a 2-0 count.
Four 6-0 for our guys, 2-3-0 for their guys. High pop up, and it's back over our dugout.
He got his fastball right down the middle and fouled it straight back.
Seager. 1 for 8 in the series. There you got a cookie right there. Couldn't do anything with it.
So to pitch tracks. Looked like he tried a backdoor cutter. Didn't cut too much.
He gone. Good pitch.
Sox fans, join us as our Sox take on the Tigers Saturday, July 23rd at 6:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a 1976 navy blue throwback jersey presented by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So to purchase tickets today, visit whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Here's Adam Lynn. He went out deep to left field. That's softly hitting the center. He stays with it. Started off the end of the bat, and that's 2 out.
Nice play by J.B. Shuck as he got a good jump. And was able to take it right off the top of the grass.
Here's Martin. Notice. 2-run homer in the second inning. High in the right field. And that'll retire the side. We're into the 5th. 4-2 White Sox. Miracle joins David Kaplan on Sports Talk Live following White Sox post-game live. Don't miss it. That's tonight. Number 14, Paul Konerko. Cabrera, Abreu, Morneau. Felix Hernandez making his first start in a long time. In fact, he broke in as just almost a sensational, unbelievable way into the big leagues. His first 4 starts as a rookie. That was in 2005. His first 4 starts, he did not give up an extra base hit. Shows you what kind of stuff he had. That's when he could bring it up there close to 100. And then he made his 5th start against us. Jermaine Dye came to the plate, hit a double down the right field corner for the first extra base hit ever given up. As there's a shot down into the right field corner. So Melky's going to make the turn, and now he's on his way to third, and he's going to get there. So he picks up his 4th triple.
And Layla's picked the click right down the line on a changeup, and Melky decides, well, I'm feeling pretty good. This ball's going to rattle around in the corner for a while, so might as well go to third base. A double and a run scored, an RBI base hit and a stolen base in the second, and now a couple more at bats to hit that home run, to hit for the cycle for Melky.
Here's Abreu. That's going foul. But in that game, his 5th start, Jermaine Dye with that double down in the right field corner, and then Brian Anderson hit a home run. In fact, Brian got him twice. He got him once on a fastball and once on a curveball. But for a rookie to come in and make 4 starts, not give up an extra base hit, is unbelievable. Oh, and 2 the count. Nope. 1 out.
Melky took a fake break to the plate, but you're not going to outrun the arm of Seager. So Melky takes a look at him and then takes a couple of steps, but he's going to be out by 30 feet. Still forcing the infield in at all 4 positions for Justin Morneau.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. One out, 1-1 to count. One and 2 the count.
Felix tried to get him on that straight change, has yet to get a 3rd strike by him in 2 at bats. Felix's straight change, which is a circle change, acts just like a splitter.
Base hit. Attaboy, Justin. Attaboy. And it's 5-2.
He decided he wanted to go upstairs with a fastball, tried to get it in, but not quite as much life on it as there will be when he has a few more starts under his belt. And Morneau with his first run batted in wearing that White Sox uniform, drills it into right field.
So here's Todd. A long 3-run homer in the first inning, and then he lined out to Seager, his next at bat.
And there is a home run, and with that first White Sox run, E-Click Lending has donated $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families. That ties in for the Major League lead with Mark Trumbo. They both have 28.
High. And coming back. Yep. 2 down. And of course, with that home run by Frazier back in the first inning. Another generous donation to White Sox charities by the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. Here's Shuck. Grounded to second, and he has grounded softly out in front of home plate. Felix picked it up and threw him out. Has popped up. Zunino back. He's got room. But the triple by Cabrera, the single by Moreno. We're halfway home, leading 5-2.
The Mariners are getting very little production out of the catching position, and they got to do something about it. Last year, catchers hit 159 for them, and that was with 5 different players catching. So they know Zunino can hit. What they told him was go down and see if you can possibly lay off sliders and curveballs out of the zone away, which has been his big problem, but that's an unusual for a young player.
1-2 the count.
They love the way he can catch. They love the way he calls a game and love the way he throws it. They would love to see a little offense.
Five runs, 8 hits, no errors for our Sox. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for their Mariners. He gone.
White Sox fans, join us as the White Sox take on the Orioles at home on Saturday, August 6th at 6:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox retro batting practice pullover presented by Coca-Cola. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com.
O'Malley, Sean. Struck out, called out on the fastball his first trip.
Sounds like so many other teams were very concerned about 4 and 5 in the starting rotation. That was, of course, before Carlos Rodon went down with a wrist injury, but 4 and 5 seem to be a trouble spot. But lately, 4 and 5 have been awfully good. Shields and Gonzalez have been terrific just about each and every time out. Certainly given the ball club a chance to win each and every one of those games. And today, no exception. Miguel thrown it pretty well. Gave up the 2-run homer to Martin after the leadoff walk in the second. Only gave up 2 other hits, and he's got the lead.
Shot slightly to the left. If you're just tuning in, Sox with 3 in the first. Long 3-run homer by Todd Frazier. Added 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth. That's 2 in a row. 2 down.
That's 5 strikeouts for Miguel. Both of these of the looking varieties. He threads the needle on the outside corner. Good job of framing by Navarro. If you haven't heard, Alex Avila going through his rehab assignment, and DeAndre will certainly have some help and a couple days off when Alex gets back and ready to go.
Here's Aoki. He is lined to second and going out to center. Souvenir time left side. Two and two the count. And that's foul. Checking a few other scores for you. Cleveland shutting out Kansas City 11-0, bottom of the 8th at Kauffman Stadium. Cubs leading the Mets 6-2 that game in the bottom of the 8th. Back home, Tampa Bay 9, Rockies 2. That's top of the 5th out in Denver. And that is base hit.
That one right,
Baltimore chop,
right off the plate. And the best thing that either Navarro or Gonzalez, whoever got to it, and it turned out to be Navarro, could do with it is just hold it.
So Seth Smith will be the hitter. He has doubled and he has struck out. Minnesota beat Detroit 4-1 at Comerica Park. That's Mets outside. Cincinnati over Atlanta 6-3 at the Great American Ballpark. Toronto leading the D-backs 5-1, bottom of the fifth in Phoenix. There he goes. And there he goes. He's out. And we're into the sixth.
Seventh at 110, and the first 15,000 fans will receive a White Sox water bottle presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. Visit whitesox.com to purchase your tickets today.
Brett Lawrie. Line to right and grounded to short. Both times hit the ball hard. Takes first pitch strike. In that Cleveland 11-2 now lead over Kansas City. Tyler Naquin has hit a couple of home runs and driven in 6. He now has 12 home runs.
Naquin is a guy that burst on the scene in spring training and just devastated Arizona pitching. Well, it seems to have carried it over into the year, and the Indians bidding to go 56-38. Looks like they're well on their way to doing that. They came in with a 6.5 game lead over Detroit, who lost. That would be 7.5. And Kansas City 8 games back. That would be 9 if that held up.
High. Marti.
That's what it looks like in the Central, with our Sox 9 games in back, looking to hold their ground, maybe pick up a game or so in the wild card race, depending on what happens in front of them. And Detroit will come to town. Like they'll be there long before we will get there.
Downer takes ball 1. Toronto leading the D-backs, as I mentioned, 5-1. Josh Donaldson has homered in that game. He now has 24s. Deanna goes out to Martin, 2 down. So that'll bring up the birthday boy, Tyler Saladino, who has singled, doubled. Check that. 2 singles. And scored a run.
Felix has really kept it to a minimum of pitches so far, just 76 of them. Although he does trail by 3.
Tyler, 27 years old today. Count evens at 2.
This one fouled off. Got a good piece of Andy Fletcher, both the shoulder and the mask. And for whatever reason, Felix Hernandez has never had great luck against the Sox lineup. 4-6 lifetime, coming in with a 3.80 ERA, and more the same here today.
That's going to be another base hit, so he's 3 for 3.
Good effort by O'Malley, but even though he could keep it in the infield, Saladino just too quick. Tries to get it across, but Tyler beats it easily.
So now with 2 out, 1 on, that'll go to the leadoff man, Adam Eaton. So Tyler, with those 3 hits, has his average up to 270. Adam takes first pitch strike. Adam has struck out, single to center, and grounded hard to third. Mackey plans to be with us starting tomorrow night at Cellular Field. First of 4 against the Tigers tomorrow night. James Shields, who's been pitching well against Mike Pelfrey on Friday. Michael Fulmer, who's 9-2 for Detroit. There's another one down to third. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th, leading by 3. Official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Member FDIC. Bottom of the 6th inning, Robinson Cano will lead it off. Robinson is going out to center and singles. Takes it outside. 5-9-0 for our guys, 2-4-0 for their guys. Way out in front. Little comebacker. 1 out. Robinson Cano. Darren Jackson, the way that happened, Darren Jackson, great analyst over on radio with Ed Farmer. Darren put that picture out on the internet. Robinson saw it and asked me if I would sign one for him. In fact, I had a lot of requests after DJ put it out there on the internet for that picture. That's high pop-up. And that is out number 2. And there's DJ. Oh, he and Farmer are just terrific on the radio. And here's Seager. Seager has walked, scored, and struck out. Seager now 1 for 9 in the series with an RBI. Young man, 28 years old, good third baseman. And is in a lineup that he should be able to really do some damage. Everything in baseball is contagious. Certainly hitting is. And when you get a lineup like these guys, 135 home runs, it just comes a little easier.
But with Lee not in the lineup, facing right-hand pitcher, Seager's going to hit number 5, which should be a run-producing situation. He's got 63 of them. So he's had a very good year in that respect.
There's a strike. 2-2 with 2 out. Pokes that one into the left field. Melky's there. And a nice 1-2-3 inning. We're into the 7th with a 5-2 lead.
win. You get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu price items only at papajohns.com. You can use the promo code SOXWIN, and that's at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Melky Cabrera will lead it off here in the top of the 7th inning. Just joining us, Sox with 3 in the first. 3-run homer at Todd Frazier. His 28th. He now has 64 knocked in. Ball 1 to Melky. Melky doubled in the first, singled in the second, tripled in the 5th. That ball hit well in left field, but not well enough for the cycle. 1 out.
Boston has lost a relief pitcher, Koji Uehara. Hurt a pectoral muscle. He's on the disabled list, so the back end of the Red Sox bullpen really starting to get decimated. They've got a lot of young talent, a great deal of money, and will be very active. They already made 3 trades. They're going to make a few more before this is over, as they're about ready to run down Baltimore.
Here's Abreu. He's 0 for 3. 3 ground balls, 2 to third, and 1 back to the pitcher, and that one's hit hard, but foul. St. Louis beat San Diego 4-2 in St. Louis. As I mentioned, Minnesota beat the Tigers 4-1 in Detroit. Houston leading Oakland 3-0. That's in the bottom of the 6th out at the Coliseum. There's a strike. Good pitch. Arnold added another one. They now lead Arizona 6-1. 11-4 Cleveland over Kansas City, top of the 9th at Kauffman Stadium. But I mentioned 1st of 4 starting tomorrow against the Tigers. Shields against Pelfrey, and if Kane make it, that game will be on Comcast Sportsnet.
Top of that bat flicked off for Jose. Went after a pitch out away from him. So we got a new one.
In that series against the Tigers, we're going to run Shields, Turner, as he gets it. After the game last night, I walked into the clubhouse and heard some hitting going on in the cage underneath, and it was Abreu trying to figure it out. He's now 1 for 11 in this series. Just a second strikeout for King Felix. And here's Morneau, who had a big RBI single back in the 5th inning. But we're going to run Shields, Turner, Sale, and Quintana against the Tigers. They're going to run Pelfrey, Fulmer, Boyd, and to be announced. So that's high and soft. And can't make the play. So Morneau into second. Kansas City special. Love it.
Dropped in front of a former Kansas City outfielder, Nori Aoki. Couldn't get to this one down the line, playing Morneau deep. Get a high inside fastball, inside out swing, and Aoki with no chance. That brings out Mel Stottlemyre Jr. to the mound to talk with Felix, find out exactly how he's feeling. That bullpen up and going for Seattle for the first time. Sox bullpen also showing some action for the first time. There is the Seattle pen. Tom Wilhelmsen, who we saw in last night's game. He came on, gave up a base hit, which scored a run charge to Wade Miley. And Zach Duke, who also came on last night, picked up a perfect inning in relief of Jose Quintana, who evened his record at 8-8.
Todd took that pitch nicely. Tied with Trumbo for the major league lead in home runs. Outfield slightly to the left. Spread out a little bit. Small gap out there in right center. Nice pitch. This will be pitch number 93 coming up. Cy Young Award winner in 2010. Pitch around right there, Todd.
So that's going to be it for Felix as Scott Servais in the second trip to the mound. Stottlemyre was out there earlier. That's going to be it for Felix Hernandez, who in his first start back didn't throw it all that well. So Will Helmsen will come in. Felix will step out. We will step out and be back after these messages. Fans that purchase this special ticket offer can join us in the morning to take selfies with select White Sox players. To purchase these special ticket packs, please visit whitesox.com/selfie-sunday. Time now for our Midas Tire and Auto Service experts call to the pen. It's going to be the king-size right-hander, Tom Wilhelmsen, combination between Texas and Seattle. ERA just over 8.5. Saw last night that big curveball didn't break quite as sharply. He inherits Sox runners at first and second and 2 outs.
Chuck is 0 for 3. Grounder to second, grounder back to the pitcher, and a foul out to the catcher. 2 on, 2 out.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and JB came up and hit a rocket right back to Felix, and in self-defense, he made the play.
Look at this. Stay fair. It won't. Just foul.
Good part of the offense today for the Sox, as Kerwin Danley on the call, is the fact that each and every run has been scored with 2 outs. So we'll take another look at this. Just barely on the wrong side of the line. The 3-run homer in the first inning by Frazier came with 2 outs. And then after 2 outs, nobody on, 3 straight singles for a run in the second. Now, there was only 1 out when Melky scored after his triple. So that, the lone run without 2 outs.
1-1 pitch. That's popped up. Sagan riding that sun makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 5-2. It's the Mariner half of the 7th inning, and they trail it 5-2 to our Sox. It'll be Lynn, Martin, and Zunino. I mentioned earlier that King Felix won the Cy Young back in 2010. The thing that just goes to show you what kind of a season he had. He had just a 13-12 1-loss record. But he led the league in ERA at 2.27. He had 249 2/3 innings with 232 strikeouts. There's the strike. And if you're just joining us, making his first start today, they have 39,985 that came out to see King Felix on his first start in almost 2 months. A nice Wednesday afternoon crowd. Mariners overall averaging at 27,580.
Don Cooper and Robin going to keep a close eye on Miguel Gonzalez as he pitches into the 7th inning.
Lind has gone up deep to left and looped softly into center. Don't want to do that. He did that back in the second. He walked Seager, and then a 2-run homer by Leonys Martin, and here comes Robin.
Well, they are keeping a particularly close eye on him, so much so that that's going to be it at 6+. For Miguel, he's going to leave with a 3-run lead with Lynn to his responsibility. So Zach Duke is coming in, and as he does, we'll step out. Be back after these messages. An afternoon. He went into the 7th inning. He gave up just 4 hits. He was threading the needle on both sides of the plate. Curveballs, backdoor cutters, and his good changeup, and that really set up the performance. So he was brilliant. Did exactly what Robin wanted him to do, which was take the game late, give way to Zach Duke, and he's in line for a victory if the bullpen can make it hold up. So time now for the Midas Tire and Auto Service experts call to the pen, and it is Zach Duke. We saw him yesterday. He is on once again, this time his 48th appearance. ERA .278 and a 2-0 record.
Here's Martin. A 2-run homer. He just missed his one his last time up. High towering pop up into right field. Martin now 12 homers, 28 knocked in. And the count 0-2. All over it. Fouls it away left side. He gone. Drop down, hook. 1 out.
This is a sweeping breaking ball low and away, and Martin expanded his zone. That ball very close enough where he had to protect, and no contact.
Zunino. High and deep. And it's a 5-4 ball game. Leadoff walks.
We talked about the power of Mike Zunino, and there he showed it to you. Hitting his 3rd home run of the year, driving in 5, but this is going to be the everyday catcher. And our 4th home run replay, it's a fastball. It's down and out over the plate. And Zunino hit the ball hard in the 2nd inning, takes this one way back. Makes it a 1-run game.
There's O'Malley.
All 3 hits for Zunino this year, after spending a couple of stints in the minor leagues, have been home runs. Matt Albers starting to loosen in the pen. That got him.
So the leadoff walk, 2-run homer. Now the hit by pitch.
He does what a lot of guys looking to get on base will do, and that is, even though you spin out of the way back toward the catcher, that lead elbow lags and actually gets closer to the plate with the pitch. Good way to get aboard, if not a painful one.
Aoki. And a Baltimore chop single in the 5th inning.
Edwin Diaz, who we saw last night, who could hardly have been any better. He pitched 1 inning. He only struck out 3.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. And he grabs the strike.
Aoki ducked out of the way, but that ball had the plate.
Seth Smith, left-handed hitter on deck. Cano in the hole. So it's up to Zach Duke to hold him right there. Count 3-1. And he walks him. So he throws a 2-run homer to Zunino. He hits O'Malley and he walks Aoki.
Smith is being called back, and that could force the hand of Robin Ventura.
Robin was telling me the other day just what a big loss Jake Petrichka was. Franklin Gutierrez. Indeed, Petrichka was a big hurt. And here comes Coop.
I'm going to give Zach Duke the scouting report on Gutierrez, who started the ball game last night. He was 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. He hit the ball hard 1 time, a line out to right, and then started the ball game. The opening night was 2 for 3, got hit, had a couple of singles. Physically, he's broken down. when he's healthy, Franklin Gutierrez has been a very good player, as Don Cooper having his say with the entire infield on what they want to do with it.
Two in, two on, one out. Bottom of the seventh, and we lead at 5-4. And there's ball one.
Nice stop by Deandre Navarro, making sure that the runners don't move up 90 feet.
There's ball two.
Career as a pinch hitter, Gutierrez has not been all that effective. This year, 4 for 21.
There's ball three. Just seems like lately that when the starter leaves, bad things happen. I've said for years now, it's a battle of bullpens. If your bullpen doesn't get it done, I don't care how good your starters are, you're going to lose. So here comes Cano. He's 1 for 3.
Bobby Thigpen on the phone wanting to know. Albers is ready, want to know about Jones.
Sacks packed. The Mariners.
Cano's grounded into 8 double plays this year, and the infield at double play depth.
Take strike one.
Now he thought it was inside. And career with the bases loaded. Awfully good for Cano. Bordering on brilliant.
All right, boys. Take your time. Rack 'em up. And that'll retire the side.
Game. It's Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And with the bases loaded, only one out, Robinson Cano decides to ground into his 9th double play of the year. Pretty snappy, 4-6-3, and out of the inning with the lead.
Diaz concluding his warm-up tosses. He'll face the bottom third of our order. Bedlaurie, Navarro, and Saladino, the scheduled hitters.
Franklin Gutierrez stays in the game in right field. We saw Diaz last night. He was absolutely brilliant. Could hardly have been better. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. The slider at 90. 22 years old, 6'3", 165. With a brilliant future.
Outfield bunched and swung around to the right. That fastball. 1-1 to count.
You just wonder how a guy comes back night game and day game. Especially a guy who's been a lifetime starter.
Fastball at 99. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for our Sox. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Mariners, we have 1 home run. It was a 3-run shot in the first inning by Todd Frazier. They have 2 two-run homers. One by Leonis Martin in the second, and one by Mike Zunino in the 7th.
There's that unhittable slider. When he keeps it where that ball was, you got 0 chance. It's low and away, perfect spot. That a little something off at 86 miles an hour, which is plenty good. Faster than most, but not his best.
Edwin Diaz made his major league debut on June 6th. And since then, he's recorded coming into the day 39 strikeouts over 19 2/3 innings. Those 39 strikeouts are the most in Major League history since 1913 in a reliever's first 20 innings or fewer. First in Major League history. Got some kind of release. Talking with Jerry Dipoto, the new general manager, before the game, or after the game, I should say, last night. Jerry, I said, we'll take Diaz off your hands. What do you need? He just looked at me and smiled. As he strikes out, he's faced 5 of our guys and has 5 strikeouts.
Let's look at Jerry Dipoto, who inherited Edwin Diaz.
When you're doing something in the strikeout category for the first time in Major League history, well, since they went back in 1913, that's something. There's a strike. Tyler's 3 for 3. Hit the ball hard 3 times, 3 singles. You know, if you got a gray uniform on and you're gonna walk up that plate against this guy, if he gets 3 sliders over, just turn around and grab some bench, because you're not gonna do anything with him anyway. The only thing you got a chance to do is do some damage on the fastball. That one at 100. 6 for 6 for Edwin Diaz, but we still lead it by 4.
Coming the ball game, and it is Nate Jones. Nate was on last night, pitched an inning and a third, struck out a pair, gave way to Carson Fulmer, who finished up the final 2/3. There you look at the numbers, on for the 43rd time. And he's got to protect a 1-run lead with the middle of the order.
Here's Cruz up high. Nelson 0 for 3. He's going out deep to center. Get into a 5-4 fielder's choice, and he's popped up to Abreu. Tuno. And there's the base hit. That'll bring up Seager. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He walked to lead off the second. Score. Look at this. Can't get him. What an effort by Brett Lawrie.
I think they want to take a look at this at first base just to see. The call on the field is he was safe. And Robin is talking about it. Big effort by Lawrie. Gets to his knees. The shovel, the throw.
Looks like he is out. Has to be definitive. Tyler looked immediately when they called him safe. So indeed they are going to take the look.
Robin's got nothing to lose here. You're talking about the 8th inning. And this would be 2 outs, nobody on.
Well, I found out something from a friend of mine the other day that in all my years in this game, I didn't know, is that old saying that you grow up with from peanut league to little league to high school all the way into pro ball is the tie goes to the runner. That is not true. That rule book does not say the tie goes to the runner. From that angle,
It's going to be really hard to reverse this one.
yeah, from that angle he looks safe.
Call him out.
He gone. Yes. What a play by Brett Laurie and a great turn by Tyler.
A very big 4-6, and then after review, a 3.
Just depends on what angle you get. First one looked like he was out. Second one looked like he was safe. And here is Adam Lynn, 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked to lead off last inning and scored. Outfield straight up, spread out. Bit of a gap in right center. Deep in left field. And this game is tied at 5.
Brandon Lynn is 15th home run. That one taken the opposite way. He's driven in 43. And every Seattle run has come via the home run. Our Ford home run replay. Those are just how much power he has.
Martin, a 2-run homer. He's 1 for 3. Now that play, a double play, really looms large. Great effort by Brett Laurie. Wow. There's the strike. Out in front, just rakes that one foul. 5-5 tie here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that'll do it, but the 2-out home run by Adam Lynn went into the 9th. Fire head east in search of 3 points as they face New England. Coverage begins at 6 on CSN+.
The new pitcher coming in the ball game with a most unusual motion. It's Steve Cishek. On for the 39th time. He's 22 for 27. He is their closer. I, for one, am ecstatic to see Diaz out of the game. But 53 strikeouts in 41 innings for Steve Cishek.
6'6", 217 pounds out of Falmouth, Massachusetts. 30 years old, just turned 30 last month.
Put up a lot of home runs, 7 of them. For a closer, that is a very high total.
Game tied at 5 here in the top of the 9th inning. Eaton 1 for 4. And the count 2-1. One out. So here's Melky. Melky 3 for 4. Doubled in the first, singled in the second, tripled in the 5th. Scored a couple of runs, picked up a stolen base.
Last cycle a long time ago. Melky needs a long ball.
Two and one. Brayu on deck. That's low. And if you're just tuning in, we led this game 3-0 after 1 inning. And we led it 5-2 going to the 7th. Breaking ball, chopper, 2 hopper, 2 out. So here's Abreu. For their guys, schedule hitters. In a nice Zunino, O'Malley, then back to the top of the order with Aoki. First pitch strike. Flips a breaking ball up there. Two and one. That breaking ball got away from him. And that'll bring up Justin Morneau.
Trying to keep that slider away. Catches him in the butt. Ryu hit for the 10th time.
One of those 2 for 3. RBI single. Little flare double. He also walked and scored. Fouls that one over into the Camberwell first base side. Very quickly, 2 strikes with Frazier on deck. Jose into second.
Zunino was set up low and away. Cishek threw it inside. See where he wants it. This ball way inside and gets by him, and the go-ahead run into scoring position.
The 1-2 pitch. Ball 4. Here comes Frazier. Died that long 3-run homer in the first inning. Then he lined out hard to Seager at third. Fouled out to Seager at third. And then he walked.
That breaking ball there. That one hung over the inside part of the plate. Todd not wanting to hit a breaking ball on the first pitch, just took it.
Todd has faced Cishek 5 times, has 1 hit. Another one, almost a blueprint.
Todd's a dead pull hitter, and Aoki in left field doesn't have much of an arm. Gutierrez in right doesn't have near the arm of Smith, but Martin in center throws very well.
A little better location, even though it was still very hittable. Still tied at 5.
It's back to Chicago tomorrow. The 4-game series against the Tigers, then a home and home with the Cubs for 4 straight. And it's on the road once again to Minnesota and Detroit as David Robertson comes on for the 37th time. He's just trying to hold him right there by an inning for Robin in the offense.
So here's Mike Zunino, had a 2-run homer in the 7th inning. Takes curveball strike. Outfield straight up, spread out and deep. Another hook, another strike, 0-2. He gone. 1 out.
Three curveballs and no chance. Tanner does a nice job making sure it doesn't get by.
So here's O'Malley. 0 for 2, couple strikeouts. He also was hit by a pitch. Ate him up. Broke his bat. 2 down. Norichika Aoki. 1 for 3, had a high chopper right off home plate, right out in front of the dish, and they could not throw him out. Takes curveball strike. There he got a good pitch to hit and couldn't do anything with it. So the count 1-2.
Tried to throw a hook and doesn't do much. Fortunately fouls it off. Certainly want to make him hit his way on because he is one of their base stealers.
The 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it. Three home runs by the Mariners today. They now have 137 on the season. Their offense is built around the long ball. We have 1 home run. A 3-run shot by Frazier in the first inning. That was our 94th. So we have 41 more home runs than we do. popcorn in the left field. So we will go to extra innings, tied at 5.
Presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Top of the 10th inning. In this 5-5 tie, J.B. Shuck will lead it off. This is the 9th extra inning game for us. We won 5 of the first 8. We played 5 on the road, won 3 of them. This is the 11th extra inning game for Seattle. They have split the first 10. They have played 4 at home, and they have split those.
Left-handers normally get a pretty good look at a guy that delivers the ball like Cishek.
That's 1 out. Shuck now 0 for 5. There's Brett. He's due. He's 0 for 4.
Good late movement on that fastball. Inside, some sink, and some movement inside to the right-handers. He's been missing with that slider, leaping over the inside part of the plate. Zunino wanted it away, and Cishek let it slide inside. Dan Jennings loosening in the pen. Heart of the order due up. The Mariners in the 10th.
Down.
There's another slider, and this one doesn't do anything, just stays in the middle of the plate, but Rick's shaking his head. He realized he got a very hittable slider. Cishek has missed consistently with that one, but yet to pay the price for it.
There's Deanna. He's due. He's 0 for 4. Balls in the strike. Yanks that one foul now past Darrell Boston.
Adam Lind is right on the line, making sure that Navarro cannot get the ball between him and the line. That's the reason we're here. His opposite field home run tied this game at 5.
Another one Yank foul. That's high in the right center field. Back near the track. And that'll do it. Well, the bottom of the 10th. Gutierrez, Cano, and Cruz.
Gonzalez, Duke, Jones, Robertson, and now Dan Jennings on for the 34th time with the ERA 160. 3-1 record. He's got to face the heart of the order. Gutierrez, who came out for a pinch hitter, then Cano and Cruz with Seager in the hole.
And if you're just getting home tuning in, we had a 3-1 lead. After one, we had a 4-0 lead after an inning and a half. Then a 2-run homer by Martin cut it to 4-2. Then we had a 5-2 lead after 5. Then 2-run homer by Zunino made it 5-4, and then Adam Lind tied it up with the opposite field shot to left field, and that's where we stand. 5-10-0 for us, 5-7-0 for them. Gutierrez. Pitch hit in the 7th for Seth Smith and walked. Two and 0.
Left-handed starter Mike Montgomery, who was supposed to pitch Sunday in Toronto, apparently, as reports have it, has been traded to the Chicago Cubs for Dan Vogelbach. Left-hand hitter with power, mostly a DH type.
There's one. Come back and get it there. We had 2 leadoff walks in this game, and both of them came around to score. Full count.
Good sharp breaking slider, caught the outside corner. This is a perfect pitch, especially on 3-1. No margin for error. If you put him on, he goes to the slider, shaves off the outside corner, take it full.
Yes, he did. He gone. 1 down.
Appeal to Mark Ripperger, and there's a break. Gutierrez thought he had checked his swing. Ripperger had a good look from the side. He said he did indeed go, and that's a big first out. He went.
So here's Cano. He's 1 for 4. He has faced Dan twice, and he has 2 hits. That one by him at 91. Shot, caught, bang, woof 'em. 2 down. Good thing he did not get that one up, or this ball game would have been over. Here comes Scoop. They're going to talk about a possible pitch around a little bit here to Nelson Cruz. You got the left-handed hitting Kyle Seager on deck, followed by another left-handed hitter. Baseball cliche sometimes, not with Coop, but a lot of pitching coaches go out there, don't walk him, but don't give him anything good to hit. So here we go. Low and away, ball 1. way, ball 2. That's outside, ball 3. He's hitting. So don't throw him a cookie. And there's your pitch around. And here comes Seager. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. He walked to lead off the second and scored ahead of Leonys Martin's home run. Cruz has yet to try to steal a base. And there's ball 1. Ball 2. Right 2. Lind in the on deck circle.
He got a fastball right down the middle and unfortunately fouled it off.
They're going to wave him around. Here's the throw. He gone. Beautiful, beautiful. Pegged by Adam Eaton. And we will go to the 11th. Yes.
Link's beef jerky all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side.
Assist number 14 by Adam Eaton. This ball kicks off the sidewall, and then he guns down Cruz by plenty. Throw is there, the tag on the chest, and Cruz is out dead to rights. So credit a double to Seager, but a big play at the plate. And there's a look at Vidal Nuno. Seen him in the series on for the 34th time. ERA a little over 3. He pitched in the opener of this one on Monday night. Pitched a perfect inning.
Tyler Saladino will lead it off. What a beautiful peg by Adam Eaton. All you youngsters out there in high school and college, aspiring baseball players, there you see Adam. If he missed, he was going to miss up the third base way. Rather, if he misses towards the other side of the plate, he's going to be safe. Perfect peg. Tyler's down. He's now 3 for 5. Eight strikeouts now for Mariner pitching. So here's Adam. He's 1 for 5.
Seager in very close to third.
They got him.
Well, that took a little coordination, and knowing that Adam Eaton does bunt, Cano has to get to the bag quickly because this is going to pull Lind wide of the bag. No chance at all for Nuno, and good coordination on the part of Lind and Cano. Lind has to come get it. Little backspin, and Cano is right there just ahead of Adam Eaton. Although I think they're going to take a look at it and see.
Well, real time by the eye, it looked like they got him. So no review. And here's Melky. He's 3 for 5. Third time he's had a chance to get a cycle. Because he doubled in the first, singled in the second, tripled in the fifth. Foul.
That ball was down and off the plate. Nuno got the benefit of that call.
All right. Adam Lind will lead it off for him in the bottom of the 11th. Going to the bottom of the 11th inning. 8th inning home run, opposite field shot by Adam Lind. Tied it up.
Dae-Ho Lee is going to come on. He will pinch hit
for Adam Lind.
He'll also go into play first base, assuming that there is another inning. And Lee does have some big power to all fields.
First pitch strike.
He's been their best pinch hitter by far. 353, a couple of home runs and 7 driven in.
Really hard. Sucked up by Brett. So here's Martin. Leonis, a 2-run homer. He's 1 for 4.
And he can bunt, so you can't play him too deep. Frazier in on the grass or a step behind it at third base.
Breaking ball strike. Nothing in 2. Prince Fielder might be done for the season. Texas with a herniated disc in his neck. This ball game is over.
Fourth home run of the day for Seattle. This is a team that lives and dies with the long ball. And Martin with 2 of them today. Our 4th home run replay. That's a slider that didn't catch the outside part of the plate. And Leonis Martin, who had a 2-run homer in the 2nd, hits the game-winning home run here in the 11th. A disappointing conclusion to a game that the Sox were in control of till late, and then the long ball, ever present with these Mariners, give them a 2-1 series victory.
All right. They won it 6-5. Wow. So for Steve Stone, for our director Todd Benjaminson, our future Hall of Fame producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our very fine technical manager Mark Harper, also for John Whitting, Josh Blythe, Mike Harris, and the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.